60s, and then go to my events. You don't see that other events. You see party loyalists only, and most of them over 50. So you see, me, you see everyone. This room, perfect example. I just said it to have to be true. We got someone who's 7 right here. Yes, she can't vote, but that's okay. I get you in 11 years. I got you 11 years. Yes. I'm building a seed now. Here we go. Yes, that happens. You want to move people, it takes that. But I'm not even done. This is a 5-way race. People don't realize that. It's a 5-way race. The first time in decades it's been a 5-way race. And a real 5-way race. His Majesty, King Andrew, will run. The Republican Sacrificial Lamb placeholder will run. The Green Party will have Howie Hawkins will run. 1 independent will run, probably Stephanie Minor, and myself. 5 people. 5 people running. That means in New York State, it's a plurality state. 30% is a victory. 30% you can win. I already polled in 2 polls I've been in. Quick Impact poll, Gravis Marketing poll. In both cases, for people who know who I am, I poll at over 25%. I'm 5 points. Yes, I'm 5 points for victory. If I get my name out, there's a critical piece. If I get my name out, this is a winnable race. But I'm not done. I'm still not done. Oh, Larry, there's more. Yes, there's even more. I actually have to make sure something else happens. I have to win on 4 means. Number 1, I've got to win on social media. Now again, 2016 taught us this. 4 minutes to fight on. If you win on 3, you win the election. The first one's social media. When I first started this, I didn't think I could win on social media. When I started this about a year ago, His Majesty had $12 million. Now he's 30. And I had 20,000. And out of 20,000, 10 of it was mine. Yes, I am my 3rd biggest donor. It's true. I'm my 3rd biggest donor. Yes.
I'm my biggest donor too, so
I'm sorry?
I'm my biggest donor too, so I feel you.
You're with me, exactly right, yes. So yes, I'm my 3rd biggest donor. So it's 2 people, then me. Then a bunch of people. So yes, that's where I am right now. But I thought back then I could do it. But I was wrong. We are killing it on social media. We are killing it on social media, winning in every way, shape, or form. I didn't think it was possible, but it is. We're more innovative, we're smarter, we have more good stuff, we're doing live things all the time. And one of the reasons is, in case you haven't noticed, I do everything live. I do everything live. Let's go, let's talk. You will never hear me start. You will never hear me start with rules and ideas of what you cannot do. You will never say, look at my watch, what time is it, do I leave? That guy right there is Zach, he's our media chief. He will be bothering me later and saying, Larry, shut up, stop talking. Guaranteed that will happen, because I never stop. I talked once at a college for 4 hours straight. So I don't stop, because this state is so broken, there is so much wrong with it. I won't punish you with 4 hours, I promise. All right, so, not just that. We can win, obviously, on social media. The next one, traditional media. We sometimes struggle with that. But today, we got one. Yay, traditional media. Yes, it does happen. But we sometimes struggle. Why? Because Governor Cuomo's a governor. They want to cover him. And Cynthia Nixon is an actor. She's popular. They want to cover her. I get it. So my hope is after she goes away in September, we have a better chance of getting more media. But we do get media, if you guys haven't noticed. We do get media. It happens often. It's usually local. But I'm in the press every single week. Some of you paying attention.
It wasn't just recently that the WSYR in Syracuse, in the Syracuse paper, we mentioned everybody but you.
Yep.
And they just finally started to do that.
They're starting to, exactly. It's taken me literally months to do that. Guys like Bob Lonsberry now will actually have me on more than he used to, right? He used to fight me, now he has me on. Right? Shannon Joy has me on in Western New York also, so also we do that also. So now it's starting to come up. How many 7 in New York City had me on about 2 weeks ago, right? So even that's happening. Even New York City's starting to pick me up. It took me 10 months to make that happen. I'm constantly going to smaller towns, getting smaller newspapers, and eventually the big ones pick me up. So we may be able to win on traditional media. I don't know. I'm hoping we can. The next, events. Well, right now I'm winning on events because I'm the only guy doing them. So I win by default. I'm the only one crossing the actual state, and I've been doing it for 10 months now. I'm crossing the state. Most people who meet me know me before they know the Republican. And that's sad for him, good for me. Good for me. So I'm winning events. The problem is, once I get now to September and the primary is over, I gotta start having massive events where there are 2, 3, 4, 500 people showing up. If that happens, you can win. Go ahead.
No. We're waiting to our money.
Right, please. Yes, please, go ahead. Yes. And the last piece is debates. Assuming I'm in debates, which I should be, we're in every year, I will win. Oh, Larry, you're cocky. Yes, I am. For two reasons. Number one, I practice all the time. I practice cold with every question that all of you can answer, and I get beat up, and if you watch my things, you see me have to fight sometimes. You see me answer questions all the time. I practice all the time. That's number one. But number two, I'm a libertarian. What libertarian means, I do not want to use force to make anybody do anything. I want to try my best to always, the people, be who they want to be when they want to be it. I want to let you be as conservative or as liberal as you want to be, as long as you don't force yourself on others. I want to make sure that one city does not run this entire state, that each county can be its own county, each region can be its own region, each family can be its own family, each individual can be each individual. Because of that, I know that I always have the moral high ground. So I practice, and I have the moral high ground. I will win in debates. So if I can win, thank you. The last thing people say when you can't win is, the Libertarian Party is so small, it doesn't do very well. That's true. The last three gubernatorial candidates combined did not raise $10,000. Combined. I raised over $250,000 and I'm not done. This is a different campaign. The last three gubernatorial candidates combined did not make the number of campaign stops I've made already, and I'm not done. So there's no question that in the past that was a problem. That is no longer true. This isn't your daddy's Libertarian Party. This is Libertarian Party 3.0. And we are ready to take a stance, and you see it happening. You see it everywhere. You see people saying, you go Libertarian, they don't go, terrible. They go, huh. It's different. It is different. So we can win, and with your help, we will win. This is a winnable race. So every idea that you've heard that you've liked, can it go into play? It can. Let me go one step further, though. What if I'm delusional? I'm delusional. And we can't actually win. We can't. I'm delusional. I can't actually win. Okay, maybe I am. It's possible. I've been wrong before in my life. I could be wrong again. Sure, maybe I am. Great. What if we come in, instead, a tight third at 10 or 15%? Think about that. There's actual impact. All the ideas I talked about keep moving forward. The microphone goes into my face right afterwards every day. Boom. And now, when Republicans say, yeah, we support the Second Amendment, but, I say, why but? Where's the but? Why but? No but. You support or you don't? Which one? I can say that and they will hear me because I got 10 or 15% in this election. Well, we want to keep funding our schools. Well, how about homeschooling? How about private schooling? How about teachers? Why administrators? Why? The things I'm talking about all the time goes to my face. Stop this. Well, won't property tax? No, stop property tax. Why do we do school tax? I will talk about these things. It will keep going. It will be impact. Here's what's actually happened in the past. The last 16 years, if you look at this state, maybe, I'm not exaggerating, maybe 16 years. Same thing for every statewide election. Governor, senator, lieutenant governor, controller. Blue team comes on top, red team comes in second. No change. No change. This time, blue team comes in top, red team comes in second, libertarian comes in tight third. Change. What if libertarian comes in second? Comes in second. Just imagine that. Democrat, then libertarian, then Republican. Here all the time. Larry, I don't want to vote for you. Republican might come in third. Good! To be very forward with you, and I don't mean to insult you as a voter. If you are part of the establishment, I'm going to insult you. You deserve to be insulted right now. I don't know if any of you are. If any of you are establishment, and you see me on live streams, I insult Republican establishment people to their face all the time. And I don't have a problem doing it. And if you're a Republican establishment, I'm going to insult you. You're a thug. You're a part of a thugocracy. That's what you are. You decided that the Republican Party does not get a primary. You decided we're going to give you two people, and you're going to vote for them, and shut up. You're not going to get him to go around at all. You're going to make sure you vote for him and be quiet. You're not going to talk about issues. You haven't talked about issues and actually done anything about it in 20 years. Shame on you. You are only about retaining your own power. Now, to be forward, this is not a Republican problem. Democrats are just bad. It's not worse. They run the thugocracy. So they're worse. But Republicans are supposed to be better, and they're not. An individual voter is. How do I know? They show up here all the time. That's how I know the voter is not that way. But the establishment will only attack. The establishment will only attack because all they know is attack ads. You can't hear a positive ad about their guy because there isn't one. You will only hear a negative attack on Cuomo or a negative attack on me. You will not hear an idea. You will not hear a policy. You will not hear anything positive. Yes, you know. You've been watching for it. You know. It's just Cuomo's bad. Everyone knows Cuomo's bad. Shut up. We all know. Tell me what you're going to do or how you're going to win or how you're going to change it. We all know he's bad. Democrats know he's bad. How do I know that? I get racist Democrats in my events all the time. They're looking for an option too. They hate him also. I get less of them because some of them think Nixon's their savior. Some of them believe that. So I get less Democrats because they think Nixon's their savior. But once Nixon loses, they're going to start coming to me too. That's the next turn in September. They're going to start coming to me also. Of course. It's not the case. Here's the issue. They are, without question, a plugocracy. If I come in second, their reign is broken. And you will find everything will change. Now, all of a sudden, Republicans will say, you know what? The Sharpe guy beat us. Maybe if we had actually cared about smaller business like we're supposed to, less government like we're supposed to, the Second Amendment like we're supposed to, individual rights like we're supposed to, maybe we could have won. Maybe we should change our party. Yeah, you should. Yeah. Democrats would go, whoa, we don't have our lapdogs anymore. We got to pull back a little bit. We got to chill out a bit. Maybe we should start thinking about civil liberties. We're supposed to be about that. We're not. We should. Maybe we should be better too. You will have better Democrats and better Republicans if I come in second. There is impact no matter what. That's why this election matters. That's why voting third party this election matters. That's what we can do. And we will have impact even if we don't win. So I want you to understand something. If you vote red or blue, you get the same old thing, no change. If you vote gold, you will have change. Thank you. I am happy to take any questions or any comments that you might have. Good or bad, whatever you think. If you want me to reiterate an idea, a concept you don't really get, if you think I'm crazy, tell me. Anything you want, I'm happy to hear it. Go ahead, please.
The DOT seems to be a little bit out of control here, but they're putting these stupid circles around here that aren't necessary when there's dozens of bridges that are closed in the area. What can be done about that?
Yeah, you have an issue with infrastructure in general. You see it throughout the entire state. And the issue is, it looks pretty to put new things in. Right? You see that everywhere throughout the state. It looks pretty to put a new thing in. So they will very often, to make it look pretty, put something new in. Right? That happens often. It's a big problem. And that comes because we have all the control coming out of Albany. That's the issue. Everything comes out of Albany. If we decentralize that to mean the dollars are now local, right? All of a sudden now the local community will decide, do we actually want something pretty or do we care about our bridge? And you'll find they'll actually put more into the bridges and less into things being pretty. Unless all your bridges are set, then you'll make pretty things. But guess what? Governors shouldn't be deciding how pretty your county is. You should be deciding. It's your money, it's your county. You should be deciding where that money is. If we break this centralized control, usually nothing going to go away. But it's the second piece. And that is, we're looking at where does the money come from? Who's paying for it? Now, when you have economic development corporations and things like that, what happens is cronies get those contracts. And when people who've helped out, when people, you gave me $40,000 for my campaign, oh, what a coincidence. You get to build this thing, right? Very easy, it happens all the time. So we also use a lot more contractors when we have to build new things. We use less contractors, thank you, when we build, when we repair things. Repairing things is very simple, that's DOT workers. Building new is heavy contractors. Heavy contractors I'm able to repair and give back my friends. I can give my cronies gifts. That's when somebody go to jail. So how do we fix that? So there's a couple ways. One, decentralize. Allow counties to make their decisions separately, number one, as long as they're transparent. But the second piece on top of that, I want to actually do something that sounds crazy. I want to raise money through ways other than taxation. when it comes to infrastructure, I want to build infrastructure without taxing you. Now that's hard, but it's possible. The example I give all the time is bridges. Right now we have a Mario Como Bridge, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I know, some of you are embarrassed. We literally have a royal bridge named after our imperial family. It's horrible, right? Yes, that's what we have right now. So how about instead of that, we allow leasing of naming rights on that bridge. Leasing naming rights on it, right? So now it's not the Mario Como Bridge, it's the Staples Bridge, or the 3M Bridge, or the iPhone, or the Apple Bridge, whatever. It's one of those bridges, Verizon Bridge. And I said, Elijah, they want to do that. They do. How do I know that? I already have bankers in Manhattan right now asking me, how long's the lease? What are you thinking? How do we do this? They're talking about it already.
Are they going to maintain it too?
That's the next step. Thank you very much. You just answered my question. Not just that. You get the cash. Now, let me get the cash, then the maintenance. There's three parts to this. The cash first. Now, just in New York City, we have over a dozen bridges run by the MTA, bridges and tunnels. Just New York City. I didn't count all the tunnels and bridges that come up here, all those that cross the Hudson. I didn't even count the Erie Canal. Erie Canal, 500 or so miles, almost 36 locks on it. Each one could be named, leasing naming rights for each one of those to become very similar to a little tourist spot for each one. Raising money to actually revamp the entire Erie Canal, raising money to fix all these bridges, raising money for all these things. Literally, billions of dollars with a B. How do I know billions? I'll tell you why. Because a lot of these companies, like Sprint and Verizon and all these big companies, they drop billions of dollars on marketing already. In fact, Staples drops $20 million to name a stadium. Already being done. This isn't crazy being done already. They're naming stadiums already, right? $20 million to name a stadium that's used once on a weekend. I'm giving you a bridge that gets mentioned hundreds of times every single day during rush hour in a 16 million metro person area and crossed by hundreds of thousands of cars every single day. Would you pay $100 million for that? Yes, you would. Of course you would. Now multiply that by tons of bridges and tunnels and roadways and whatever you want to do, and the Erie Canal. That will literally raise billions of dollars to fix our infrastructure without having to raise your taxes. But I'm not done. Your point, maintenance. Yes, that's part of the deal. We can still inspect. But what happens now when we inspect and then the bridge still collapses? What happens now? Nothing. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. But instead now we inspect. And now the bridge is no longer A, it's now a B. So we give them a chance to fix it. They don't. It's now a C. Fix it. They don't fix it, you lose the contract, next person comes in. Fix the bridge or you don't get the contract. Done. You'd actually have maintenance that had consequences. You'd have better maintenance of your bridges because there's a consequence. Right? If the bridge is going bad, you lose the contract. Next person comes in. But it's the best part about that. Who's paying for the maintenance now? They are. That's part of the deal. That's in the contract. What does that mean? Two things. Number one, we've just reduced spending. Oh, New York State reduced spending? Sounds crazy.
You're going to reduce taxes?
Almost there. Give me one step at a time. To be clear with you, I'm not a big fan of tax cuts. And I said it on purpose. If we just cut taxes, we actually don't help. We have to also cut spending. We can't just cut taxes. It hasn't worked. I cut taxes, cut taxes, cut. It's nice, but you gotta also cut spending. So I focus first on cutting spending. Then we can cut taxes. Does that make sense? First, cutting spending. Then raise money through ways other than taxation. Now we can start cutting taxes. Now it makes sense. Now we don't lose anything we want, and we can still cut our taxes. That's what we're looking for.
But there's so much money wasted now that...
I'm almost there. I'm with you. I like you. You are just, you're my flow. I'm bringing you with me next time. So yes, absolutely. So my point is now they control the maintenance. There's no waste on the maintenance anymore. Do you know why? It's not our dollars. It's Staples dollars or 3M dollars or whatever. It's their money. They're not going to lose money. They're in business. Right? They make sure it gets done. We're going to inspect it. If it's inspected well, life is good, move on. You have to keep going now. That means less money coming out of Albany, which means less corruption. The less money I'm giving out, the less corruption there is. So I just reduced corruption. I didn't erase it, I reduced it. Off the bat. One idea reduces corruption, reduces spending, raises money. And there's one more thing, and the most important thing, no tolls. You don't need tolls.
Does that include the New York State Thruway?
If we got that sponsored, yes. Yes, 100%. Now, I'm going to go there too. Oh, you're great at best. Oh, you're good. All right, so let's keep moving this one real fast. So, what that means is no tolls. That means the average person now doesn't have to pay tolls. Easy to get around the state. If you're a trucker, I used to be a trucker years ago. If you're a trucker, you pay $100 to cross a bridge now. If you're an owner-operator, you just got a raise. If you're not an owner-operator, that company now can hire more people or give its own truckers a raise. Not too shabby. I'm happy about that. Not just that, more truckers will use the regular roads versus the side roads and stop trashing the side roads to avoid all the tolls, which they do all the time. That will end. Huge. Now, let's go to Thruway. All right, Thruway. You can, of course, sponsor Thruway. Of course. You can lease it. Remember, we are never selling the asset. I'm a business guy. We don't sell the asset. We just lease the naming rights. We never sell the asset ever. We own the asset. We keep the ownership of the asset always. Now, how do you do that? Everyone talks to me about the I-81. You name it, oh, it's disaster, I-81. They can't even say, what do you do with I-81? I said, easy, Google Road. They said, what? I said, Google Road. But how are we going to fund? We're not going to fund it. Stop with the I got to fund. Every time there's a problem, the first solution for every politician, how are we going to fund it? How are we going to fund means, how am I going to tax you more? Every time you hear a politician say, how are we going to fund it, they mean, how are we going to tax you more? I'm not saying that. I said Google Road. How about we get a company like Google, Amazon, insert company here. What's the length you want to do it? Awesome. You can make a Google Road along that area, which would be perfectly fine for all your driverless cars. Driverless buses, driverless whatever, a whole bunch of them, you pick it, as long as next to it is a regular road for regular cars. You can make all the money you want on that Google Road if you want to. Let the consumer decide. You can drive the regular road if you want to, or drive the Google Road. Pay your $10 for the Google driverless bus if you want to, and go from A to B and get up at a certain stop. I don't care. Good luck, go ahead. Why don't we ask them for that? Now, here's the best part. What if the Google Road actually works? People like it. You can extend the Google Road. If it doesn't work, we didn't pay for it anyway. We got a road. Life is good. If it works, you can extend it. Guess who'll extend it? Google will, because they're making money on it. The same caveat. You have to put a regular road next to it. That's all. Regular road next to it. And we're good. They keep the Google Road. And what's the price to retain the Google Road? Very simple. Maintenance. If you maintain the regular road, you can keep your Google Road, which means no tolls. It is that simple. This type of idea can work. They might say, wow, wait a minute. That's crazy. You don't know. That won't work. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it won't work. But it's a damn good idea, and everyone should be thinking that way. And if my idea isn't perfect, there's another one out there that some of you can kind of come up with that is the right idea, that does not include the same old tax us to death to give us horrible service. That's the current model. Tax us to death to give us horrible service. I don't accept that. No, don't accept it at all. No. I'm a business guy. I'm all about innovation. We don't innovate, we die. Let's innovate. We can do it. This can be done. So, did I answer your question at least?
Yeah, do you happen to know what all the work is that they're doing down along the Thruway? I had heard that they were going to have, what do they call those things?
I don't know, I'm sorry. I wouldn't know anyway. I apologize. I don't know. Sorry. Go ahead.
If counties are going to be more involved,
Yes.
what's going to prevent the counties from taxing us more?
Yes, great question. All right, I love that. Now, what I want to do is I want to make counties more autonomous. I absolutely do. There is no way that one city should be deciding what the entire state does. It just shouldn't be. The counties have to be more autonomous. So two things have to happen. Number one, we have to get rid of unfunded mandates. Unfunded mandates are the reason why counties right now tax us out of everywhere. If any of you worked in county or local government, you know that's true. You wind up having it to where there's a point where there is, 1/3 of your population is on Medicare, 1/3 of your population is on Medicaid. You have a dwindling population as people leave and go to North and South Carolina, rising tax bill. Why? Because unfunded mandates don't change. You still have to pay for what Albany and DC tell you to pay for. We have to pay for those things. Well, great. That's 85, 90%, 95% of your budget. You don't have any budget. What are you going to do? Two choices. Number one, property tax. Why property tax? Because property tax has a loophole. Property tax, you probably know, you don't vote on. The council does. You go behind closed doors and go, it's a crisis, right? Is it a crisis? Yeah, crisis? Yeah. Yeah, crisis, absolutely, crisis, yes it is. So boom, property tax goes up 8, 9, 10%. That's how it works. If they can't do that, then something even worse. They start using our law enforcement not to actually protect us, but as a profit center. All of a sudden now that ticket that was 50 bucks is now 200 bucks. Well, there's a surcharge of 200 bucks on it. Now all of a sudden our law enforcement is spending their time giving tickets when they should be protecting us. That's what happens. I wanted to stop. So end unfunded mandates, and you will see there'll be less need to actually raise all that money, to raise those taxes. I actually had a councilman tell me, he said, Larry, you don't get it. We don't have any money. I said, I understand. Imagine no unfunded mandates. He said, Larry, you're not getting it. We don't have any money. I said, I understand. Imagine you could start your budget at 0. Larry, you don't get it. We don't have any money. I know. This concept was so foreign to him, he couldn't hear what I was saying. It's like I was speaking Russian to him. He just didn't get it. And I said, 0. He just went. He had no idea. He was so shocked and surprised. So the first step is unfunded mandates. But that's not enough. There's an actual formula I use all the time. It's a real formula used in business, used in life. It's actually very simple. It is personal freedom plus transparency plus accountability equals innovation. So while the counties will be free, they will also need to be transparent and accountable. So will some counties decide they're going to raise taxes? I'm sure one will. We're going to, oh, thank you, Governor Sharpe. We're going to raise taxes, 25%. Awesome. But every county is transparent. So when every county around them goes, what are you doing? Now those people are in trouble. Those council people are in trouble. And that will happen exactly one time. But it might happen. It's possible there might be one county that will do that. Yes. When you give people more freedom and authority over themselves, they make mistakes sometimes too. And that's okay. In the long run, we will help them. I want the governor to not be what he is now, which is, I won the election, therefore I will impose my will upon all of you. So he is right now. And you're a conservative, I'm not, therefore you are evil and banished. That's who he is right now. I want the governor instead to be someone who comes to you when you have trouble. I want to be a firefighter. Right? If your county's doing well, you don't need me in your business. If your county's doing something bad, I want you to tell me. I want to be the guy who, instead of imposing my will upon you with my junior local strongmen, I'm the guy who defends your individual rights against the local bullies who constantly pop up.
Well, de Blasio's in trouble if you get it.
Say again?
I said de Blasio's in trouble if you get it.
He might be in trouble, yes. I'm sure he's not a fan of mine. Yes. But that's what I want. But to be full with you, there are a lot of New Yorkers who are happy with de Blasio.
Ugh.
A lot of people in New York City are happy with him, particularly in Manhattan. A lot of them are. And here's my important piece of it, I'm sure you understand. I don't want to force the people in Manhattan to get rid of him. If that's what they like, let them keep him. But don't force de Blasio's ways outside New York City. If New York City wants de Blasio, they should have him. That's what freedom's about. If they want him, they should have him. But does that mean all of a sudden now Herkimer County has to have him? Or Ontario County has to have him? Or Erie County has to have him? Of course not. If they want him, they can vote de Blasio in. So, de Blasio can do what he wants, as long as he doesn't dare. No worries. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm a libertarian. I want you to be as conservative as you want to be, as liberal as you want to be. I don't mind. Just don't force others. One of the biggest complaints I get all the time is, Larry, New York City forces their view on the rest of the state. Let's stop that. Let's stop it. I'm okay with that. People tease me. My running mate's from Rochester. I'm from Queens. They say, Larry, how do you know what we need? No, you're from Queens. He's from Rochester. How do you know what we need in Watertown, in Syracuse, How do you know what we need? I don't. I don't. And guess what? You don't know what I need in Queens. We're even. How about that? We're even, right? How about instead, I let you be you, you let me be me, we let her be her and him be him, and we're all good. Nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of glory and beauty in this state, but it's varied, which is what makes it so great, which means you have different cultures, which means you have different environments, and that's a good thing. We should be happy that exists. I'm happy about that. Did I answer your question at least? Did I answer your question or no? Awesome.
Well, one other thing though, what's going to prevent our taxes, our property taxes in communities or the counties?
Yep.
What's going to prevent it
Yes.
from?
It is. There's a loophole right now in the property tax, and that is, I think I might have mentioned to you, that the council votes on property taxes, not you guys. I will change that law. It's a very simple line of the law that says you have to vote on it in November. Now, let me ask you.
But even if the vote goes down,
If your
they
county,
reappraise your property and then it still
hold on,
goes up.
let's be clear. I want to be clear. If you vote, your county votes that it wants a 9% property tax, then you're getting a 9% property tax.
And then they do a reappraisal of your property and the price goes up and the
Absolutely.
taxes still go
And
up.
as long as we are transparent on that, and I will be transparent on that, when you call me and you'll call my office and go, hey Larry, this is garbage, this is what they're doing. We'll be transparent on it, and we'll see what's happening. The point is, I want, if you understand this, I want to actually make it so where counties don't need to do that anymore. If we set that up, they won't have to do it anymore. The reason why they do it is they believe they have no money. And with unfunded mandates, they're right. They're right. Unfunded mandates makes every county do what New York City tells them to do. That's what unfunded mandates is all about. You remove that, you'll get what you want. But not just that, you have to vote for it. That's what I want. I want you to get involved. I do. 70% of New Yorkers don't vote. That's shameful. But it's true. Why? Why bother? And sadly, they've been right. I wish they were wrong, but they've been right. We have to change that. You're right, it's hard. And will some county do it? Probably, yeah. And then we'll fix it. Democrats want to be your mother. They want to give you everything. Republicans want to be your father. That's you. I'm a libertarian. I want to be your brother. You love me. You don't want to live with me. You don't want to always hang out with me. But you do love me. And when you're in trouble, you need to ride to the airport, I'm there. That's the guy I want to be. Be your brother. If I'm that guy, when someone does that, and they will, you're right, everything you're worried about, someone's going to do. But when I have literally the Office of Transparency, it's going to be an office I have, the Office of Transparency. When it's transparent, it'll stop. People need to stop now. If your council is full of Democrats or Republicans, they're part of the party establishment. They're not going to step on each other's toes. They're going to say, why'd you do that? And they're going to be quiet. How do I know that? You've all seen it happen. If you've been involved in your local government, you've all seen it happen. The advantage is, they're not my party. I'm libertarian. I don't have a party to protect. I don't have a career to protect. If I lose this or get beat up or don't survive 4 years because you impeach me, I go back to working. The world doesn't end, but my ideas stay. My ideas stay no matter what you do to me, my ideas stay. I know I'm going to be in court for all 4 years. I'm not fooling myself. All 4 years I'm in court. So what? My ideas stay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
One other thing now.
Oh, let me see if I can get someone else with a question. Does anyone else have a question or comment? Please go ahead.
What's your position on fracking?
Fracking, awesome. The idea that a governor would make a moratorium across state on fracking is an embarrassment. That is not correct at all. It's a bad idea. Here's what fracking should be. If, two things. One, all the people involved, their property, if they agree, that's step one. It's not enough though. First off, everyone must agree. If it's in your property, you have to agree that you're okay with fracking, number one. Number two, fracking companies must be transparent. Note that word again, transparent. You hear that word often with me. They were not. They hid behind intellectual property law and said, I can't tell you what I'm doing, I can't tell you what I'm putting in the ground, I can't tell you how, trade secret, intellectual property. If you want that, you cannot frack in my state. If you are transparent, here's what we're putting in, here's how we're putting in it, here's where it's going, and the people involved say yes, frack away. Those two things, frack away. But if you want to hide like they did up front, the fracking companies they're much better now because they've been beaten up because of that. Right? They're better now. But initially, to be forward with you, if I don't know if you guys ever hear about fracking or not, they were terrible. They hid everything. They were horrible. And that's why we have that bad knee-jerk reaction to New York State, because they were so bad. But if they would just be open and say, here's what we're doing, here's how we're doing it, I'm fine with it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah,
Can I make you happy or not, or if you like it or not?
Yeah, no, I see in Pennsylvania, which I used to think is a Rust Belt state.
Yes.
They're growing like crazy.
Yes, absolutely.
They're taking all our oil.
They are. I agree. Yes, I agree. I'm with you. Look, again, property rights matter. Individuals matter. If we care more about the individual person, the individual landowner, the individual mom, the individual dad, the individual person, we will find we'll be a better society. Individuals matter. I don't need to just, I'm going to stop everything because you're afraid. Something to remember here. This is America. It is very rare that the government just takes our rights away. Almost always, we eagerly vote them away because we are afraid.
And are you going to New York State out of ICLEI?
Say again?
Are you going to pull New York State out of ICLEI?
Tell me what ICLEI is.
It's the International Council of Local Environmental Initiatives.
Good question, I don't know. I'm not sure.
The UN?
Because yes, it's a UN initiative.
Oh, then yes. Sorry.
And what about
yeah.
what about Article X?
Why would you do that? Knowing I don't know what the first thing is, why would you say the second thing?
Well,
Why would you do that? You might as well say, why not blah, 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 blah. Why would you do that?
well, you
What
can
about
find
Article
out
X?
You can find out what it is and get back to me.
Yes, that's even better. Thank you so much. I appreciate
It has to do with
Yes.
house rules, the house rules law, okay, which is like a safeguard for homeowners and property owners. Well, Como passed a law that there's a board now.
Oh, board. I love boards.
There's a board.
No corruption there.
Article X is a board that's between the citizen and the state, and the citizen has to go through this board in order to sue or pursue the state.
All right, thank you. If there's a board in between anyone in the state, the odds of that board's going away. The odds are that board's going away.
Yeah.
You look at all the people who've been arrested, indicted, in trouble, they're all on a board or a committee or a commission or authority. They're horrible. These things are literally just ways of being corrupt. They're bad. They never work. They're always appointees. They're always, oh, you gave me $20,000 for my campaign? You're on a board. What a coincidence that is. Literally, His Majesty has raised $800,000 from people he's put on boards. I'm not making it up. You go to homework, that's absolutely true. He got $800,000 from people he put on boards. That's why we have boards. So odds are it's going away. Go ahead.
We start ruffling establishment feathers with the odds of federal funding being pulled from New York.
Yes, that's my hope. I'm not joking. That's my hope. Yes, my hope is that will happen. And the reason is, I don't want federal funding for our roads. That's why our roads are so bad. Federal funding means federal regulations and rules that make things that are bad. I'm not a big fan of regulation, not because I don't like regulation. I'm not a big fan of regulation because they don't work. They don't make us safer.
Yeah, but
Regulations change when corporate lobbyists change them. That's when regulations change. When corporate lobbyists want to change regulations, that's when they change. However, standards, different issue. Standards change all the time. Standards change as the industry changes, as new information gets done, of course. So I'm happy with them having standards tell us what they think we should do. Great. But I'm tired of them saying, you must do all these things or we will not give you money. All that does is make things harder and harder. So, Larry, what are we going to do when we get that federal money? That's what the Google Road is for. That's what the Verizon Bridge is for. So we don't need federal funds. And in the best case scenario, we raise enough money, we don't require federal funds, we can sue the federal government and stop taxing us so much because they're not giving us anything back. That's my goal. Federal oversight has never worked well. It hurts our environment, it hurts our infrastructure, it hurts our medical care,